Word for word, this is what the guy said. He goes, dude, I wanted to throw the microphone at you. Every one of us up here were talking about how much we hated you after you got off stage. All right, the tricky part is to not get tan on anything. So I'm sitting on a sheet right now, and I'm hoping that will suffice. But I don't anticipate the tan spreading too much as long as I keep this high. I'm gonna turn it into a refrigerator here in a second. All right, it's probably pretty loud with all of the air conditioning that's on right now. However, it is needed so I don't sweat too much. I don't want my tan to spread and get blotchy, because I don't want to have to put too much of it on when I get there. I'm much darker than my Middle Eastern wife now. She's so mad. And she's like, oh my God. She goes, I feel so white next to you. And I was like, well, this is an unnatural color, so I don't anticipate you being this dark. All right, so it's been quite a bit of time since the wife here has been on camera with me. So what are your thoughts? How you feeling? It's your show day today. How you feel?
I'm gracing you with my presence.
You gracing me with your presence. She's talking about how hard her life was this morning. And she said, she used the words, all of my hard work.
Excuse me? Yes, all of my hard work. What the fuck? You are...
There's a couple different scenarios. You know, if I don't win this show, I've still won. Because I'm just so grateful to have found peace and purpose and a hobby and a lifestyle that feels so intrinsically linked to the way that I think and the way that I want to be. So I won on that front already. So there's really nothing else that can go wrong in my situation.
The rest is a bonus.
The rest is a bonus. Yeah, the winning, competition's just keeping score, you know? But and some people they thrive on just competition being their only factor, you know, for this journey. And to me, it's not the only factor, but it's definitely an important one still. And I just want to have fun. I just want to absorb the experience. I think what I'm extremely passionate about is just being able to document this process. You know, I love being able to share it, what I'm going through. It keeps me accountable on many other fronts, but like I was mentioning in my other video, it's important for me to provide people with something that watching YouTube vloggers provided me with when I was in a losing season. You know, when I was kind of searching for identity and purpose and I didn't really know what direction in my life I wanted to go in. You know, I think when you're on Instagram, people show you the best of their life and you panic because you feel like you're behind all the time. And you feel like, well, all these people are making money, they're doing all this stuff. But when you go on YouTube, it's a more authentic connection with somebody. They're talking to you about every element of their life. They're not just curating a quick scene. They're just having a conversation with you. And that brought me a lot of clarity in moments of turbulence. And I just want to provide that to other people. And I think this in itself is one of the most important things to me. So I've already won. All right, so I'm at the convention center now, patiently waiting here. I'm about to use the bathroom. All my shit's sitting over there. I don't know if you can see that. Probably a bad habit to get in the habit of just walking away from my stuff here. But anyway, I am hanging out. I got to use the bathroom here, but I'm waiting for Nagar to finish up first. And then we're going to head over to the other building. This is actually the west building. So I park over on this side because I feel like it's just going to be less congested with people. And then we'll just do a little walk over that way I'll get a little bit of sun. Not that I want to sweat, but it's nice to get out of the air conditioning, at least for a little bit, because I am frozen. So I'm going to hit the bathroom, and then we'll head over to the other building there. And I don't think Nagar can get in yet, but with my little athlete badge, I can get in right now. They'll open the convention center around 9 o'clock. It's about 8:30 right now, so we're going to finish up here. I'm going to head over. Nagar's going to patiently wait, and I'm going to put her wristbands on, too, so she can get into the event. I bought her an NPC card, and I bought her a Backstage pass, which is a total of $500. Love it.
I didn't ask for any of this.
Yeah. All right.
will get our referee class 40 Just have one for 55 action unit.
Turn a little towards this light. Turn a little towards this light.
Well, now I'm not getting my mic. You're just getting the front.
Okay.
And they will be on top, so right there. You want that?
Yeah, you could. I like that one. Back. You can go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
So 52, 43 switch, 52, 43 switch.
All right.
Now 52 and 55 switch. 55 and 54 switch. Now 76 switch.
Yeah, like one more last day. Like, got a dog, chilling, and then now you get to go to fucking college. Yeah, it's gonna be good, like,
I'm gonna get some feedback from the judges, and then I'll update you guys afterwards and let you know about placing and everything like that. So I'm just waiting for the classes to finish. Right now they're finishing up bikini, or no, they finished up bikini. Now they're doing men's bikini, men's physique. So they're gonna finish that up, and then they got some class called Fit Model. I don't even know what that means. But once they finish up those classes, and then I'm gonna ask one of the judges for some feedback in terms of, like, you know, what I could make improvements on, you know, what they saw, and then kind of the rationale in terms of placing. I'll be able to update you guys on that afterwards. All right, good morning, friends. I am, it is a day after my show, and I want to give everybody some updates as to what happened exactly, because I kind of dipped out in terms of, like, you know, updating everybody, even on my Instagram with text messages. I kind of went ghosted for a little bit there. And getting right to the point, I placed dead last in every category that I went to. So a little bit of feedback from that. It was strange because when they actually called me out for 4th place in the novice division, the audience kind of got quiet. It was weird. Like, you could feel like there was a little bit of, like, tension there. And I think even the competitors that I was working with were a little bit surprised and shocked, because, like, the entire time I was backstage, everyone's like, dude, you look great. Like, you look fantastic. I even had a guy that came up after the end of the show, and he said, dude, he goes, everybody that was sitting around me in the audience was, like, shocked that they put you at 4th place. He goes, and I actually had to go up and ask the judge, because I'm like, what the fuck? He goes, I literally thought you had this no problem. And so he went up and he asked the judge, and he said, if I had a couple more weeks and came in a little bit more conditioned, then I would have won, no problem. So that actually prompted me, when I had that conversation with that guy, to go seek some feedback from the head judge, because I'm like, you know what, like, what did go on exactly? I made it this far. I want to at least understand where I can make improvements, and I want to understand where I could best, you know, fix my situation moving forward. And he said the same thing. He literally, word for word, this is what the guy said. He goes, dude, I wanted to throw the microphone at you. Every one of us up here were talking about how much we hated you after you got off stage. And again, he's smiling the whole time. He goes, I'm going to be honest with you. He goes, you should have won the entire show, but you fucked up your conditioning. And he goes, you could have been leaner. And he goes, with your size and your symmetry and your shape, he goes, you are literally designed for classic. And he goes, and you should have won this entire show. And, you know, in that moment, I could not feel anything except overwhelming happiness, because I won still. You know, in my mind, like, I won. Because this guy is a head judge. He does IFBB shows. He travels all around the country. This guy sees a lot of great people. And for him to confirm to me that, hey, you have actual what it takes to be like a high-level competitor. You know, your size, your shape, your posing, your symmetry, but your fucking conditioning was not there. And I thought I was pretty conditioned, and my rationale for that too was, or my explanation, I cut down too much. Earlier in the week, I was looking really hard and lean, and then I went from 212, 213-ish to 205 in like 3 days. My body kept letting go of water. And I don't know if it's because I pulled out some of my supplements, and I water loaded, and my body just kept kicking it out like crazy, but I could not stop peeing. Like even the day of the show, like I peed probably 25 times, and I was replacing water as much as I can, but my body was not holding it. I tried adding sodium and more carbs, and my body was not holding on to it. So I just kept getting softer and softer and softer throughout the week and on show day. And I just kept thinking, and I'm like, man, did I fuck up with trying to cut down too much? Which I definitely did, because my weight cap was actually 217 instead of 209. So I could have literally came in with almost 10 more pounds added to me. And I would have looked way fucking better. So definitely something to consider moving forward. I did not do as well as I thought, but what I do want to tell you is I did not feel any sourness towards this show, and I want everybody to understand something about bodybuilding. If you don't do this as a full-time job yet, if that is your ambition, or if it's mainly a hobby to you, you don't win anything. You know, and if you don't have fun with the process, and if you don't find things in it that you felt like made you feel like a winner, then you're gonna set yourself up for a very poorly structured mentality. Because you need to be able to default to finding the positives and the wins in all situations. And the wins that I ended up getting from this were enormous. I think it put me into a structure and a routine that helped me find one of my real passions in life, which is doing this fucking YouTube stuff, man. Like, I literally love it, and I had a hard time expressing myself previously when I tried this. I've been trying to YouTube vlog for like 4 years on and off, and I couldn't find my voice. I could not find like a way to express myself that felt authentic to me. I felt like I was forcing something. I felt like I was curating a personality. I felt like when I was out in public, I didn't want to film because I felt like people were judging me, because I was judging myself. And I think what bodybuilding did is it created a structure and a system for me to film with, and it got me more comfortable with being my own person on camera instead of trying to produce some sort of outcome. Instead of trying to control the way people thought of me, instead I just like was myself. And that was definitely something that this show helped me obtain. Another thing was that my deep connection with my wife got even deeper. Like, we shared a lot of intimate moments together. She helped me tan. She made sacrifices with me. You know, she made sure that I got everything done. And she was definitely not easy on me by any means. She didn't let me slack in anything. If I had duties that I still had to fulfill on, like, she was like, yo, you gotta fucking get this shit finished still. Like, she was pushing me. But at the show, she had a lot of fun. And normally when her and I go places, we'll go to like outings and friend gatherings and all kinds of stuff. And within about a 15-20 minute period of time, we're like, let's get the fuck out of here. This just isn't us. But like, she had a great time, and she didn't feel like she wasted it. And we had a lot, and she was tanning me, and she was helping me pump up, and like, she was backstage with me the whole time. And it just was a fantastic experience, and I just deepened my connection with my wife. And it was something I sorely needed after the 13 weeks. I feel like I've kind of definitely was streamlining this process and really focused on just my own outcomes. So that was something that I also won from it. Another thing I won from it too is just the systematic routine of bodybuilding that it provides you with. I got into the athlete mentality, and me, I am an overthinker, definitely, for sure. And what this process allowed me to do with the bodybuilding is it systemized my routine to a point where it removed all that incessant thinking. And when that thinking goes rampant, man, I've created entire business plans like within like 45 minutes. Very comprehensive too. And I've actually used some of them to pitch to like investors in the past and shit, all kinds of stuff. But like my mind will start to gravitate towards these insane concepts, and it's like I'm trying to solve some complex puzzle, and I overthink something that just does not need to be done. So that what also I got from this competition was it removed my incessant overthinking, and it allowed me instead to just fucking just show up and do. I've been the most productive in these last 6 weeks than I have been probably in the last 6 years of my life. And in some areas that may not be so apparent, but in other areas it's like, oh my God, like I was getting so much shit done all the time. I was doing so many different things at once, even with the low energy levels that I had, that it surprised me. It helped me feel more confident in my abilities to get some shit done, because I do struggle with some self-doubt, just like everybody else does at points in their life. And it pushed me into this system of thinking to where I'm just like, stop overthinking and just fucking do it. Like I would try to rationalize things. I would try to like overthink them, complicate them. And instead I just went to straight fucking execution. And I was like, no, I'm doing it. I even had this like voice inside my head where I'm like, should I do cardio today? I'm feeling kind of fatigued. I just did legs. Maybe I should take a break and just recover and relax. And literally I'm like, just shut up and do it. What are you fucking thinking about? This is the life you chose and what you wanted, and you know what to do, and you're convincing yourself out of it. And I think I've created this internal authority figure with bodybuilding that has allowed me to override my overthinking and just help me fucking execute. And I think because of that, I'm going to become a better athlete now, which I struggle with in the past because I am an overthinker, and the overthinking is what made me a good coach for other people, but it's what was a disservice to me in my own life without me seeing a lot of forward momentum. Like, it hindered me in business, it hindered me in my relationships, it hindered me with, like so many different things in my life, even bodybuilding, because I would just not put the pieces together systematically and just fucking execute on them. I would overthink. I'm like, what would be better for this situation? No, what would be better for that situation is if you did the fucking thing. That's what would be better. Because, consistent efforts over time cannot fail to produce outcomes and results. And now those outcomes and results can vary depending on the activity that you're doing. Like if you're eating shitty food every day, of course you're gonna get fatter, But the big thing was, if you're focusing on the right objectives and the right tasks, and you build a routine that's fucking healthy for you, it's giving you progress, it's taking out your thinking, and it's teaching you a system of operating that just gives you this fucking huge release of dopamine. And that's definitely what this has also done for me. It's given me that. It's given me like, one of my coaches a long time ago, a business coach of mine, used to say structure equals freedom. And I used to think, I'm like, doesn't structure imply that there's not freedom? But that was my overthinking. I have this like debating mindset to where I always challenge everything everybody says. And I feel like it definitely hinders me because I challenge my own thinking too, which has its advantages and its places. But it does not have those advantages and places when you're trying to make consistent compounded effort give you some sort of outcome, right? So I've won a lot from this. I've rediscovered a passion for bodybuilding, I developed as a child, and it gave me direction and a point in my life where like I was pretty much fucking homeless. I was homeless. I came home and all my shit was sitting outside one day, and I had to move into my grandma's house, but I was homeless briefly for a short period of time there. And all my friends went off to college, and my parents gave me the best gift of all, which was they were completely hands-off with me, and it allowed me to think for myself. So I got attracted to bodybuilding. I found my own path. I didn't go the structured learning educational route like everybody else did. And it helped provide me with a passion, a career, and a purpose. And I helped rediscover that, with this past weekend. And I just feel like I've won in every regard. I know I may have placed last, but I feel like I won. And I think that's a measure of like a weak versus a strong man, in my opinion. Like a weak man would have just left the venue and just been shitty about their placing. Me, I stayed an hour and a half afterwards to get some feedback to understand what it was that I did wrong so I can make improvements the next time. And I literally, I had a brief moment of shock when they called my name for 4th place. But then after that, I just accepted it. I'm like, you know what? This is not the defining moment of my life. It's not the only competition I'm doing. And it's certainly not a judge of my progress, because I've made enormous progress. And it's not going to make or break me. So, and I won. I had a great connection with my wife. I built a system of thinking and some sort of routine that helped me operate in a more healthy headspace to take out my overthinking. You know, it's just provided me with a lot of friends. I made a lot of friends at that show. It's helped me with my vlogging significantly in terms of helping me feel more comfortable filming in public and just getting my voice together and learning how to express myself better. It's like, it's provided me with so many benefits, and like, I had a brief conversation with God, and I'm like, and it was like, you already won. You fucking idiot. You've won. And I just feel so good. I feel so good. I just feel emotional right now, even. Like, I feel like overwhelming clarity and joy and relief and mission. And it's just hard to put this complex emotion into words. But I just feel so good, you know, and I feel like I've won. And I just wanted to let everybody know that, like, you can't take, like, something like bodybuilding, for instance. It's a subjective sport, so it's a beauty pageant. They basically judge it based on criteria that's completely subjective. Because some shows, some judges favor other qualities over others. And you can't take it personally. You have to look at your own progress. You have to look at what you've gained out of the situation. Because it's very easy to start thinking negative when something happens to you, and you train that, right? You reinforce that skeptic negative mentality, always searching for what you've lost instead of what you've gained. You know, that can infect your mindset, and it can make it very difficult for you to operate in life because you just constantly feel like you're losing things. But instead, wouldn't you rather instead just feel like you've won all the time? Like, what have you learned from the situation? You know, like, what have you discovered about yourself? You know, what relationships have you built along the way? What things have you learned? You know, it's like failure is success. I know that's hard to understand when you're trained in conventional education settings that either you pass or fail. But that's not how the real world works. The real world works differently, much differently. Is when you fail a situation, it's not like you're done. It's not like you're done. You're alive, you have opportunity, and you're going to have the chance to make a correction. And now you have more wisdom and experience. And now you know what to expect and anticipate. And that can help you plan better. So I will say this. This competition has pushed me into an evolution in my life. And it's not, like, to me it was bodybuilding. For you it may be something else. I don't know what that thing is for you. But it's got to be something that excites you and scares you. Because it is the same feeling. When you're afraid, it's the same feeling as excited. It's just the perception is different. The feeling is different. You get that knot in your stomach, or it feels like butterflies in your stomach, you know, and it feels like you're alive. That's what it feels like. Like, when you feel scared or when you feel excited, you feel alive. You know, you don't feel like you're an automaton operating with a stoic mindset where, like, nothing bothers you and you don't have any emotions. Instead, you feel alive and invigorated. And I challenge you to follow that fucking path. Keep walking down it. You know, because you'll be very happy with where it leads you. Because behind fear, you know, I always talk to my my staff members, my employees, and I also talk to my coaching clients. And I'm like, look, have you ever been afraid of anything in your life? And they say, yes. I said, okay. Well, you're here today, right? So you've lived through it, yeah. So what did you experience after the fear was over? And they all have the same answer. They just smile. And they're like, excited, alive. And I was like, exactly. Because fear is made up. Fear is a psychological motivator that we've been taught to step away from in the world, right? Go away from fear, right? Fear is a bad thing. What if I told you fear is a doorway, and behind that doorway is something about yourself that you don't know? It's the boundary of your character, right? It's quite literally growth. If you open that door, you're going to discover a part of yourself you didn't know existed. And that in itself should excite you. Everybody talks about growth, but then when it comes to killing your comfort demon and opening that door of fear, you hesitate. Don't hesitate. Open that fucking door. Kill that comfort demon that lives inside of you that just makes you negotiate with yourself. Like, don't let that voice surface and say, yo, let's just chill today. Let's just go home and just do nothing. Let's just eat something like we know is bad for us. Let's escape into drinking, you know? Let's let some vice overtake our life and pull us away from our goals that are actually important to us. The temporary relief that you get from doing these things to help you feel like you're escaping is never worth it. It never makes you feel better. It makes you feel like you've missed out. And also it changes your perception of time, right? You will feel like time is like scarce instead of abundant. You'll think in short-term distances. You'll think in terms of next hour, or, oh, I only have an hour before I got to go to bed. Like, you're not excited to go to bed and wake up the next day. Instead, your perception of time is, I'm losing something if I go to bed right now because I haven't entertained myself, right? Your perception of time will change. But when you gear more towards this growth mindset, going towards fear and killing that fucking comfort demon, time becomes more abundant to you and you think in long-term visions. Where could I be in 5 or 10 years of consistent compounded effort? Like, what if the things that I envision for myself are actually possible if I just put my fucking foot on the gas? Take it out of park, man. Stop thinking so much and hit the motherfucking gas. So, yeah, I got last place, but in my eyes, I've won. And I encourage you guys to always, always, always try to search for the positive outcomes in your life. Because you can always find a negative. The hard part's finding the positive. But the hard part of finding the positive is reinforcing that growth mindset we're talking about, okay? So I'm almost to Whole Foods. I want to use this time to end the video here. You know, I'm going to actually do another show. I've already planned it. I've talked to my wife about it, and it's going to be in November. Okay, so I'm going to go through another prep. So I'm going to have about 6 weeks of off time. I'm still going to do cardio. I'm still going to be like eating healthy. I'm going to take a small vacation up to Sedona with my wife, which I'll make a video about. I'm just going to take a little bit of time to like let my body recover, and then I'm going to fucking hit the gas again. And we're going to go right into this show. It's going to probably be, it's November 15th is what I'm shooting for. It's the last show of the year. It's also a national qualifier. So if I could win this show, I will be nationally qualified for a year. So that's the goal, friends. And, you know, I just want to take a moment to just, if you've reached the end of this video, seriously, thank you so much for watching these. I really enjoy making these videos. And if I could do this the rest of my life, I would. And if I had more time, I would make even better videos. I would give you even as much possible value as I could jam into it. I would love to connect with you. So if you made it to the end of this video, go ahead and leave me a comment. You know, let me know what you look forward to seeing in my videos. Let me know if there's something in the video itself that you want to see more of, you know, or even some positive words of encouragement, because those are always healthy for everybody to read. There's too much negativity on the internet. Let's just fucking support each other, be positive, you know, and just help everybody grow. That's my goal. That is my goal. All right, friend, if you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. If you're not subscribed, please make sure that you do that. You know, give me a like down below too. It helps support my channel and the growth that I have for it. So, you know, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.